This week on the special pre-LightReel Festival edition of the show, Charles Kirkland Jr., lead programmer. Well, actually, that's not true. He's not lead programmer yet. I'm not giving him the title. Programmer Charles Kirkland and I will sit down and talk about this upcoming 6th annual LightReel Film Festival. We're going to talk about that all show as well as review Karate Kid Legends and bring her back. We'll have all that and more on the latest episode of Keeping It Real with Film Gordon. Let's go. And welcome to the I'm sorry, I started to say welcome to the, we were just watching A Knight's Tale clips before the show.
Were you going to introduce me as the protector of Italian virginity?
so sorry. It's in my head, man. I can't get it out. But Charles Kirkland Jr. joins me. Charles, what's going on, man?
What's happening, T? I'm glad to be in the place.
Sir, we've had quite a day today, man.
It's been a wonderful.
All right, let's talk about our day, man. But before we talk about our day, coming up later in the show, as I said at the top, we're gonna have reviews of a couple of movies, Bring Her Back and Karate Kid Legends. Yeah, Karate Kid Legends. I want to say Karate Legends, but it's Karate Kid Legends. And and we'll talk about that. We'll have a lot of fun with that. But I want people to be as, I'll use the word inspired as I am right now about a thing that, and I know we're people of faith, so I'm going to talk about it from a faith standpoint. Something that was given to me, right? Not an idea, Charles. I mean, we talked about this. This was not my idea to create this film festival. It really was not. I had gone to film festivals and been as a critic for the last 3 decades. I've been going to film festivals, man, since the late 90s, right? And going to them was fun. You know, you show up, you know, there's some movies playing. There's usually some celebrities there. You're like, hey, man, this is cool. You party, you watch films, you network. You know, it's cool.
You're not really down for the celebrity thing. I mean, not for the photos, but you talk to people. And
not
stuff.
anymore.
Yeah.
I used to be, but not anymore.
You got that picture with the mayor, though.
We're getting ready. Why are you jumping ahead on the story, man? But anyway, I say all that to say, man, and I think I shared this. I'm not sure if I've ever shared this on air, but I will share it today. 30 years ago, I almost started a film festival. Did you know that story?
No, not like, I mean, I heard some of this, but
somebody approached me back in 1994 to create something, and we went as far as creating a name, a logo, and everything, and it didn't go any further than that. It was called the Washington African American Film Festival. This is back in 1994.
Horrible name.
It was WAAFF.
It's even worse when you do the acronym.
Maybe that's why I never went anywhere, Shane. The name was bad. But that didn't get off the ground. So 20 years later, 2014, I was approached again by somebody, and I took a meeting to create something called the Cherry Blossom Film Festival. You know, you got cherry blossoms in Washington.
Yeah.
Thought it was a good idea. No. Shane gave me the eyes. I don't know if that was a good eye or a bad eye.
It was a bad eye. I didn't even see it. I know that was a bad eye.
It never went past the introductory stage.
Good.
3 years later, I was, sitting at home, and in a fit of inspiration, working with a group of brothers at my church, and frustrated that they were trying to raise money, and I was like, man, I could just create some kind of a film thing that I can do that would make some money. And they was like, well, go ahead on and do it. So I was home on a Monday morning in my robe, sitting at my dining room table with my laptop.
TMI.
No, this is really, bro.
Okay, go ahead.
And I meant to make a phone call to a venue to try to set up a series. And instead, I was guided to call the tourism office in Howard County. Mm-hmm. And the rest, they say, is history. The woman didn't know who I was. Mm-hmm. I just asked, made it up on the spot, like, hey, we can do this. We show some films, have some panels and some parties.
I mean, you had a blueprint that was, because you've been gone to so many festivals.
I didn't have anything written down.
You could tell somebody what you want to do.
Well, I just told them what I wanted to do. And a film festival was birthed out of that. Mm-hmm. I can go into details because it's even deeper than that about how I envisioned it, because I would lay down, ask for divine intervention, and divine intervention showed me what every day of the festival looked like, and I got up and wrote it down. It's a true story.
Okay.
True story.
I've heard that.
Right, you heard that part.
I heard that part.
So then 2 years goes by. We try to launch it in 2018. Wrong team. There's no Charles Kirkland at this point. It doesn't work. No, I'm saying we had no Charles Kirkland yet, and it doesn't work. We put a new team together. Charles Kirkland suddenly shows up in 2019. The rest, they say, is history. And here we are this morning, where Charles Kirkland and I, attend a press conference with the mayor of the city, and who introduces the film commissioner, our own director, LaToya Foster.
Yes.
Who talked about the LightReel Film Festival, along with DC Docs being the two festivals in DC that are going to be anchoring the city in the early part of June.
I mean, she talked about some music things that were happening, some other stuff
I skipped all that stuff. I'm getting to hot stuff.
When she got to the films, bam.
So let's just say this, and again, I can say this with all the love, because this is not a competition. DC Docs, this is not a competition.
I'm just waiting to see what you're going to say.
DC Docs, it's not a competition.
Get ready to dump button.
See, Shane, you see me trying to do something serious. Charles is making it into something else. It's like, we're not doing that.
Okay, just making sure.
My friends at DC Docs, Jamie Shore is a mentor of mine. When we first wanted to start this festival, she was one of the first people I talked to. So Jamie Shore runs DC Docs along with her partner. I run LightReel Film Festival. They're a week apart, right? We're first, they're the week after us. Between her festival and our festival, there are a total of 176 films. Brand new films playing in Washington, D.C.
Yep.
in within the first 2 weeks of June, which to me is astounding.
Incredible.
And I'm not saying that being funny. That's 176 movies in the city. Brand new films.
Between the two festivals. I mean, you think about TIFF that runs like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, TIFF runs 2.5 weeks. So in 6 days we have 176 films.
Yeah,
combined. So they got 3-day fest. We got a 3-day fest, 4-day fest, but technically, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But so I say that, man, congratulations to DC Docs. They're doing some amazing work. They're going into year 3. We're LightReel Film Festival going into year 6. I am very proud of our slate this year, and I'm not saying that just because it's our slate. I have never gone on record and talked about us having a bad slate. Look, Charles.
Wait.
I'm gonna leave it. No, I said on the record.
I'm saying we've never had a bad slate.
And I say I've never gone on record and said that we've had a bad slate.
We've never had one for you to go on record.
I'm just saying I've never said it.
Okay.
I'm just saying I've never said it publicly. I like our slate this year. And I really do. I mean, we literally in the last, 72, 48 hours have added a couple of new films to the festival, which we will talk about momentarily. In addition to all of the work that we have from seasoned filmmakers, we also feature a lot of student films that are in our festival. And a lot of these are local student films. So they're films that are coming from Howard University. Mm-hmm. We have, I'm assuming these are their thesis projects, right?
Yes.
American University, we have some filmmakers. We also have a couple of high school filmmakers
schoolers making films.
from the Sitar Art Center here locally. And we got 3 of those
Fantastic.
films. Yeah, 3 of those films, including Girl.
Girl.
Did you like Girl?
I did like Girl.
Girl is an interesting film. Shane, Girl is an interesting film from the standpoint that it's a documentary about 3 sets of girlfriends at like various different ages. So there's one that's like a little older, one that's probably 10 years younger, and then a couple who are in their early to mid 20s, maybe early 30s. And it's a very interesting because he pretty much asks like maybe 14 to 15 questions that they both have to answer. And you get this disparity. It's fun. It's informative. It's almost like a peek behind the curtain of how women process and how women are. I thought it was fantastic.
Excellently executed. I really liked that film. I mean, a high schooler though.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
So the other part of what I was saying about what I love about this film festival is that at the end of the day, it, along with the LightReel Awards, are literally platforms for other people to come along and shine.
Right.
It's not about me or Charles. It's about the platform that's created and the filmmakers that take advantage of it. You just did a filmmaker focus that's going to air sometime next week.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it'll be a couple days after our show.
And then he was on our show about a week ago, right? A couple of weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Priest the Nomad.
Priest the Nomad.
Larry Ware, director of I Was the Weirdo.
Larry Ware second.
Larry Ware second, because his father's Larry Ware. He reminded you of that. This brother right here, man, has made his debut film documenting his life. You know, he's from here. The story is centered here, and it gets to premiere here in his home city. Now, he's going to play some other festivals, which you'll talk about afterwards.
Right.
But the here experience, to me, is what's really, really important.
And it's really important to him. I think as we talked with him, he was like, I love the fact that I get to share this with my family here at home first.
Right.
And yeah, it's great. I'm going to be other places, but I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on right here, right now. And I'm on home, D.C., which I was like, I want all of the people who make films in D.C. to feel that way. I want everyone to say, I want my people at DC to see it first.
Right. Well,
if you make it here, it seems like it would make sense to me that you would love where you come from first.
So I'm gonna spend this segment talking a little bit, talking to what I call the local lens, like the films that are here. I put up a post this morning on IG, spotlighting some of these local films. So every time we talk about a film, let's make sure we tell people when they can watch said film. So it's just not a missed opportunity. So the first film we brought up was Girl. Hold on a second, Charles. I know how to get to this because somebody named Charles Kirkland showed me how to do this. Because I don't really technology wise, I don't do this. But that's why Gordon Edwards is out there getting stuff done because so one of us has got to be on top of this stuff. So hold on a second. So Charles, we talked about Girl, right? Mm-hmm. Girl is directed by I'm assuming she's a high school student, Ryan Camille Turner. And of course, it'll be playing in Short Block 2 at the festival. And that's going to play
Friday, June 6th at 9:15 a.m.
There you go, man. So Ryan Camille Turner's film. I want to keep saying Ryan Tucker, but it's Ryan Turner. Ryan Camille Turner's film, Girl, you want to definitely check that out. I Was the Weirdo, which is what we were just talking about, has had a historic run. It became the first film in LightReel history to ever sell out its initial screening. So its Friday screening, which was June 6th to 7:30, is sold out. They have an encore of it on Saturday afternoon at 2:30. All of the films, of course, at the Angelica.
It's also the first film in LightReel history to get an encore screening in the same festival.
Bruh. Look. It is also a finalist for the Black Butterfly Festival Award, sponsored by Events DC. Contractually, I have to say that every time I say Black Butterfly, sponsored by Events DC. It's in competition as a finalist for
Best Documentary. Best Documentary Feature.
Now, remember, there's also an audience award.
Right.
So every film is eligible for the audience award. So it's up to you, audience, that shows up. So, Charles, any comments on I Was the Weirdo before we move on to the next film in our local lens series?
Man, I got nothing else to say. Like you said, I just got off doing an interview with Priest. Film is fantastic, and I compare it to The Black Godfather. It just the way the Clarence Avant story, where you just see how Priest is behind and he got his hand in. Even after we finished talking with him, he talks about people he's been with and working with, and we're like, how you know them? How you know them? He knows everybody. Everybody knows Priest.
Priest the Nomad, man. So, and he'll be out at the festival. As I said, his film is DC premiering on it's Friday at 7:30. So I mean, don't show up on Friday trying to get a ticket because you
it's
won't
too late.
be able to get
it's too
one.
late. You got to go for
if
the
you
next
want to
show.
come, you better come on Saturday at 2:30. All right. So up next, man, is another person who you interviewed on the film. One of the former filmmakers of the month is Sean Cosby, and her film 33rd in Memphis. Another DC filmmaker. So talk about this one right here.
Well, actually, Sean made this with her daughter, Sharian.
Her daughter?
Her daughter, Sharian, is also co-director and writer of the film. And so they've done this film together. It's not a DC premiere. It's played some other places. But
it's going to play at a DC festival.
It's going to play at a DC festival.
Right now.
So that's why we're so happy to have a DC filmmaker show her DC film in a DC festival. So, yeah.
Hey man, I mean, and that's important, man. I mean, I think part of this is the whole DC-ness of it all, man. I am enjoying this, man. I really am. And up next, here's a brother we had on the show last week. His film, A Diva's Life. My man Troy Pinckney.
Troy Pinckney, who also is a co-host of the Hip Hop Corridor, which you can hear on DC Radio HD4 96.3 HD4. He steps into the director's chair of a film, and I mean, this film is actually it's an episodic.
It's an episodic. We have a couple of episodics in the festival.
But man, it's just fantastic how he gets intimate with these women who play football, professional football.
He doesn't get intimate with them. He provides an intimate look. Look at Shane.
Look at intimate look. Yes.
Shane is like,
thank you for cleaning that up.
He's not getting intimate. The DC
it's not
Divas,
that kind of film, folks.
the DC Divas, man, which is the Washington's all-female professional football team. Troy takes us behind the scenes, man, as a season in the life of the DC Divas. So.
Now, here's the funny part about Troy. Troy is not only is he doing this film, but he's going to be doing a Q&A with Priest after the first showing.
He's going to put his hip hop corridor hat on for that.
Yeah, Troy's going to be doing wearing multiple hats in this festival. He's doing a moderator are we doing a Q&A with Troy? We got to do one with him after
we got to do a
Q&A
Q&A with Troy,
so he gets to feel what it's like to be on the other side.
Yeah, I agree. That's interesting. Wow. So, A Diva's Life, man. Again, Shane is over there trying to take notes, man. About I'm trying to give you these local films, man. You need to get on top of.
All you have to really do is go on the site and click the star, so it'll be you can know which ones you're going to go see.
Any other? Oh, here's another notable local film that we need to hit. The Chavez School Mission Trip documentary.
Very interesting. Clarence Cross, who is a teacher at Chavez School, took a bunch of children down south to show them.
Wasn't this like an HBCU tour?
Yeah, HBCU tour. But they strayed and saw some historic sites along the way. The great thing about this film, though, is that he gives director credit to all of the students who were on the trip because they participated in the creation of the movie. So he gives them all.
They directed Dr. Cross.
So it's very interesting because now all of those children have director credits.
Wait, excuse me a second. Is Shane writing notes for every movie he wants to see? Is that what you're doing right now?
Yeah.
You do realize there's a computer that you can put all that stuff online instead of having it written down? I see all of these sticky notes. I'm like, is that what Shane is doing? Oh, okay. I'm like, wow. Like,
dang, Shane, you could have held up the mystery, saying, "Yeah, man, I'm documenting LightReel right here."
Shane, he is. Some of that is documenting LightReel. That's why I'm laughing, because he is looking through the schedule. But the Chavez School mission trip is playing in Doc Block 2, which is going to happen Friday, June the 6th at 2:15. And we didn't give up. We were laughing about DC Divas, man, because Charles was talking about people getting intimate. That's going to play also in Doc Block 2. So the same one, same Doc Block. June the 6th, 2:15. And as I said, everything is at the Angelica Pop-Up Theater, 550 Penn Street, Northeast D.C. Trying to think, is there any other local films we really want to hit before we start diving in? Now, Addis My Father. Let's talk about that one a little bit, Charles. This is playing in the Howard University Filmmaker Showcase. So this is the second year in a row that we featured, a block of between 6 to 8 films from Howard University students who are doing their thesis projects that they submitted in the festival. Charles has a look on his face, and be nice, man, because these are students.
Where'd you get the picture from? Where'd you get the picture from?
This is what you put up. I didn't get this picture from anywhere.
I put that picture up? Okay.
Yeah, this is the event of site. This is not
I'm saying if when you look at this picture, you want to watch the film.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Shane, I'm not saying nothing, man. See, here we are talking about films. Charles is talking about.
I'm just saying.
You have a daughter at home. You have a daughter, and I have a daughter at home, both older than this woman, right?
What's your point?
I'm not Shannon Sharp.
I'm
not Shannon Sharp. No, I'm not Shannon Sharp. If there's a woman younger than my daughter, I'm not. Watch this. I don't admire her like that. I mean, she's a
Why
very
does
beautiful.
Everything have to be sexual with you?
This is not a sexual. Look at Shane. Look at Shane.
I'm saying, if you look at the picture, you want to.
Excuse me, audience. If somebody says you want to see a picture and it'll make you want to see the film, what does that imply?
That she's a good-looking woman.
She's a baby.
Okay.
Shane, are you looking at this picture? Is she a baby? You can turn your mic on and say it, man, because I want it to be verified.
Yes.
Thank you. Anyway, Addis My Father tells the story of a quiet family-owned clock repair shop with Rahel and her aging father Addis share long days marked by silence and emotional distance. Set within an Ethiopian-American household, the film explores the quiet weight of the aging generational disconnect and the unspoken love between immigrant parents and their first-generational children. Charles Kirkland, we're going to let him off the hook. Charles is making a point that she is a very attractive younger woman. It doesn't make me want to watch the movie, but I get your point.
Okay. All right.
And that film is playing in what? It doesn't say what block, but it plays. I guess it doesn't say what. Oh, it's in the Howard University Filmmaker Showcase, and that's 9:15 a.m. on Saturday, June the 7th. So get up bright and early. Check out these Howard student films.
Good. Students are used to getting up early. Wow. They got to go to class. Get up.
A disclaimer. I have nothing to do with the scheduled times.
Lies.
We have a programmer.
These are lies, folks.
I made these. I picked these times.
You have overwrite privileges.
Do I ever overwrite you?
Sometimes.
No. I don't. I've learned.
Sometimes.
Look. I've learned. I don't overrate Charles. I don't get that deep into the minutia. Now, I'll say, interestingly enough, every year there's like 1 or 2 filmmakers that'll write a note to us and they'll be like, "Hey man, can I get my film at night?" And Charles's line is pretty much not his line, but like what it means is, "You take what I give you." Am I wrong?
No, not
Shane.
at all. Somebody's got to be there. And
Sir,
sir,
can I
it's
have a night film, sir? No. we literally got a request, and Charles is laughing because he knows exactly what I'm saying. We literally got a request this week where somebody, reached out to us and was like, "Yo, man, I know my film just got in the festival, but can I get a night screening?" No. And Charles, somebody told me. Did I share this with you?
No.
Somebody on our team got copied on your note, and she was like, "That was the nicest FU I've ever heard." I'm sorry. I didn't say anything. The nicest no I've ever heard.
And guess what?
Can I have a night screening, sir?
Guess what? Not ChatGPT.
Wow, you wrote that?
I wrote that.
Wow. Shane, gangster. All right, man, let's move on, man. Are there any other local films, man, that we really need to talk about? Because we have so many good local projects. Now, the other thing,
I do the filmmaker of the month question interview, and I asked that question at the end about shout outs. And I know it's a hard question because there's so many people to shout out in a filmmaker's career. They're ultimately going to forget something and feel bad after the end. So when you ask me right now, is there a film that we should talk about? I feel like I'm in that chair. I'm like, I'm sure there is one. I can't remember.
Let me shout this brother out right now. So a couple of weeks ago, Shane, because Charles already knows these stories, I was asked to be a jury member at Sitar Arts Center, right? So I've been working with them. This is an art center in Upper Northwest for people who live outside of the area. I mentor these kids. They wanted to start a film festival, so
high school students,
right? So I helped them put together their first festival. Last year was called Set in DC. So I went a year ago, and they had like 5 films, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
It was the first one.
It was the first one, and yeah. So then there was year 2. And so year 2, they came back and they had a more kind of robust program, right? And I saw 3 movies that were in that I had to judge that actually, because I promised them, I said, if you ever produce something good enough, we'll play it in our festival. So this year, there were 3 films, right? 2 of them came from one guy, this guy named John Monaco. Young John Monaco did a 4-minute film called How to Love, which blew me away.
I mean,
black and white film about a young kid.
Well, in parts, black and white. Yeah.
Parts black and white. But the fact that this kid was able to articulate generational trauma in a relationship in 4 minutes was, wait a minute, a high school student. Dude, watch this. There's a filmmaker we talk about often who I don't think is a really good filmmaker who's been making films for 20 years. And that dude has never gave me that sort of emotional depth in any of the films he's ever done. What this kid did in 4 minutes in his
first movie. And I'm like, what is going on in a kid's brain that he can think this deeply, that he can express and then put it in film and communicate it in a way that is just heart-wrenching and beautiful at the same time?
How to Love.
How to Love
is playing his Shorts Block 4 Friday afternoon at 4:45, and then he turned around. If that wasn't good enough, his second film. What was it called?
How to Love, Black Care.
Black Care.
How to Love is a narrative. He wrote and directed this one. Black Care
is a doc. Which pretty much is kind of like my story as a kid, because it almost had me crying about being in the barbershop around older dudes when you're a young guy, and he just documents all this stuff, and I'm like, how is this kid? So my answer to how old and how good this kid is, you get to play LightReel. You got 2 films in LightReel.
So look, Tim made this agreement with Set in DC, Sitar, whatever, without even referring to. So when I talk about overripe privileges, this was an overripe privilege. He said, we putting these films in the festival.
Girl, How to Love and Black Care. I was like, yeah.
And I looked at him like, you right.
I should have came to you. Well, never mind. See, I'm not really good. I don't have a poker face. I am very transparent about how I feel. So that should tell you when I like something, I really like something, because I don't like everything, right?
That's true.
That is very true. So yes, so those 3 films. But John Monaco, has he RSVP'd? Is he coming to the festival?
He has not RSVP'd.
Man, John Monaco, if you listening, bruh, we need to see you at LightReel, because I need to pull you to the side, because I need to have a conversation with you, because I'm like, I need, that's that Ryan Coogler genius.
Right? I'm scared to talk to him, because he might blow my mind just standing there talking. I'll be like, whoa.
All right, man. So we've given how this time's. Charles, you get to talk about this one. Oh, by the way, did you get in touch with these filmmakers?
I did. I did.
And what did they say?
You know what I'm.
Wait, hold on a second. Let me give the audience the context. So early this morning, I was riding into town, and of course I'm going through our IG feed, and I see this wonderful kind of. You saw it, right?
Yeah, I saw it.
This wonderful thing they created for the film festival to promote their film, Black and Missing: Untold Stories, Episode 1, Relisha Rudd, and it was great. Except for one thing, Charles. They had the wrong day.
Wrong day and
time.
Well, they had the right time.
They had the wrong day. And I was like, bro, you need to reach out to them, because their audience is going to be real upset when they show up on the wrong day. And don't put it on us, because if you look at our schedule has it right.
And look, so I called her and I was like, what's going on? I said, your folks are going to be pretty upset if they come to the theater. If they buy a ticket, they'll know.
Yeah, that's true. They will. They're right.
But if they come to the theater and want to get in,
they're checking your IG feed and you blasting it out. Oh yeah, they're gonna be mad.
They're gonna be. And she goes, "Oh, I put down the wrong date." Well, in all fairness, she runs a corporation called the Black and Missing Foundation,
right.
and this very week, this Saturday, they have their big 5K event of the year. They've been publicizing it, and they've been working up to it. Mm-hmm. So all her focus has been like, trying to get in contact with her is kind of hard, because she's focused on this one event, and then she's going to switch to the next one on Sunday after this one's over. She's like, oh man, I can't believe how I missed this. Yeah, let me go back and fix this as quickly as possible. I'm like, okay. I said, all your people better come to the right day, because they're going to be upset.
Tell the people what this movie's about.
This story, well, the Black and Missing Foundation has created another episodic series, right, in which they had a series some time ago just about and I can't remember the name of it, but it was about how hard it is for Black people when they go missing to get the process started to find them. Because on the news and everything, you'll hear whenever someone of the other persuasion goes missing, because they show them with their blonde hair and everything, and they build up the sympathy. But when it comes to us, there's very little coverage, and so they've created this foundation, and Relisha Rudd is one of those stories. And actually, it's kind of different, because Relisha Rudd received a lot of attention, but there still has been no resolution of the case.
Right.
And so they're going to talk about Relisha for a second, but then they're really going to talk about Pamela. I cannot remember Pamela's last name, who is another client in this city who's gone missing. And I guarantee you have no idea who she is.
Yeah, I bet. And I think what they're doing, this is some really good work, man.
Yeah.
It's really good work. All right, so before we get done with our local segment, because we do need to talk about I'm going to give you my top 10 list. Now, here's the thing. Remember, when I say I give you my top 10 list, I don't get to vote for the audience award. I'm not on any jury. Am I correct?
Correct.
And the films are already curated into the festival, so I can give out a top 10 list.
Sure.
I can. Watch this. There's no Shane, is this a bad thing if I give out a top 10 list at my own festival? Even though I have something to do with. Seriously. I've curated the films, and I don't judge them. They're gonna get awards, which I don't have anything to do with other than paying for them. I don't have anything to do with. Did I have anything to do with the finalists?
No.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I did. I picked the
little bit,
finalists.
a little bit.
Yeah, I did pick the. No, when I say I picked the finalists, we as a team picked the
you were in
finalists,
the
but I
part of
don't
the
vote on
process.
who wins. So
You were in the process.
my hands are clean as it relates to like there's no
I still think it's a
chicanery.
bad look, man.
It's a bad look?
because you know if I'm not in your top 10, how do I feel about being in your festival?
Yeah, that's true. All right, I get my top 10 privately. but the reason I'm saying this is because people like Shane come to me and they go, man, what's good at the festival? I can't tell them, well, I could say, man, everything is good. I love my slate. But Shane's not going to go see everything, and nor can any one person. The only people who've seen everything are me and you.
True.
Nobody else will have the experience that you and I had watching all the movies, right? So how do we tip people? Well, actually, I guess we can't.
I mean, we just talk about film.
Man, that's terrible. All right. No, let me go up. No, up next is the film that I am really excited about because it's the first film in LightReel film history to be our opening film, world premiering at our festival. That's never happened before.
Nope.
Nope. Never happened before. The Class Reunion is a special movie, right? Not only is it a DC film, it was literally filmed at Eastern High School here in DC. Mm-hmm. Charles and I spent a couple of days on the set watching them film it. The filmmaker is from DC. The producers are DC. It's world premiering in DC. It is as DC as one can get.
Yeah. Is the film actually from DC? Like the film that they printed the movie on? Did they
film
use
strips
cameras
are
that
DC. Everything about this movie is DC. It stars a Chicago actor in Lil Rel Howery, but this movie pretty much is kind of like
He's DC now.
it's like the Black Breakfast Club.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty much
Absolutely.
what it is.
Absolutely.
And I remember them telling us that when I was on the set, and then I watched it and was like, yeah. So we not only watched them film it, we were in Sundance when they took it to Sundance, and they were just kind of hanging out with the cast. And we went to the house. They had a huge, on a snowy day. You weren't there?
Was I at Sundance last year?
You didn't come. You weren't at Sundance? Wow.
Anyway, wow. He is really getting old, folks.
I say
you don't remember I wasn't there.
I
was not
do
there.
so many events, man. I can't remember the stuff, man. There have been times I've sat next to you in a movie, and then I'd be like, was you at that movie?
Yeah, that's
Dude, how many movies are we watching screenings? Like, we watch a couple 300 movies a year?
Yeah.
Like, I can't. And you expect me to remember every screening we've ever been at?
No, but the Class Reunion where we were supposed to...
You weren't at that house?
I was not at that house.
Wow. Anyway, Charles wasn't there, but Shane, they rented a villa out in Salt Lake City, right? I mean, in Park City. And it was a snowy day. They had, I think it was called something in Mimosa. So they had like mimosas. The cast was there, like all of them. Lil Rel Howery. They're all hanging out. We took pictures on the steps wearing our Class Reunion hats.
I'm just hearing about this. I never even heard this story.
Because I didn't really want to. we hung out with the cast. Watch this. True story. That was the day they told us that they were going to let us open the film at the festival. Okay. I told you that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all that happened that day.
Okay.
You just weren't there for all that.
I missed all the other stuff.
It was so bad that there was a kid who was out at Sundance, and I was texting him. I was like, man, you got to get to the house, man. The party is happening. And I sent the text to the wrong dude, and the dude was at church, and he was like, man, that sounds like a bomb party, man. Unfortunately, I can't. I said, oh, I'm sorry. Wrong dude. My bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was not me either.
But this movie I'm really looking forward to because, like I've been sharing with a lot of our local filmmakers, man, I really want LightReel to be their platform. I want it to be established that if you're a DC filmmaker and you're listening to the show right now and you submit a movie, that no disrespect to any other festival.
No.
Because I know Tony Gittins at Film Fest DC, and we talked about our relationship at DC Docs and DC Black Film Fest with our guy Kevin Sampson. I know a lot of the festival directors in this town.
I used to work.
No disrespect.
I still kind of work for Tony Gittins.
No, you don't. Anyway, anyway, I say all that to say that I want this to be DC's film festival. I want local DC filmmakers to feel at home at LightReel.
Yeah.
That we're going to showcase your stories.
Right.
On
Absolutely.
our platform. Right.
Absolutely.
So having said that, class reunion, I'm really looking forward to that one. So we've got about 20 minutes left before we get out of here.
I got 2 films we got to talk about.
Oh, man. Come on. We're not going to be able to do movies today. Go ahead, man. Hit your films.
We not going to talk about Daydreamers?
I said, I'm trying to get out of the local segment so we can get to the other films.
Okay. Well,
Daydreamers is not local.
Game On is a local filmmaker.
Game On, it might be a local. He is coming to the festival. He's a local filmmaker, even though his documentary is about basketball in China.
But he's a local filmmaker.
It's a good movie, though.
It's a really good movie.
Charles found that one. You found that one.
I found it.
I'm going to take credit for the next one. You found that one.
Okay, yeah. And it was free.
Inside baseball.
No dig. I'm sorry. My bad.
It was
but
free.
yeah,
It was
Game
free.
On is a story about basketball in China. And it's just about how people in China have a love for basketball that we just didn't know existed, and how generations are playing basketball in China. And I'm like, after watching it, I'm like, the Wizards need to send somebody over there and start recruiting or something, because they got some players. They got love out
in
there.
China, man. So yeah, that's
it
good.
Really
movie.
played like Hoop Dreams.
Yeah.
In China.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then they because it's based around an I guess a Nigerian former basketball player who is there sort of. He's not necessarily a coach, but he's
like
I don't know,
ambassador for the game.
And he's working in these. And he speaks fluent Chinese, so he's over there hanging out with them. It's a really well done documentary, as I explained with Shane. Normally, as a rule, man, I'm able now to just look at a film long enough and go, oh, okay, I've seen enough, I'm good. This one, I was like, man,
I
this
gotta
is
watch
pretty
all
good.
this.
I watched the whole thing. I was like, wow, that's pretty good. So. We talked about Class Reunion. Class Reunion is going to open the festival on June the 5th at 8 p.m. Game On. Charles is not adhering to the rules. You got to tell people when these movies are playing, man, so people have an opportunity to see them. Charles, as I pull up Game On is going to play, Charles?
Friday, June 6th at 2 p.m.
All right, so good job, Charles, in discovering that one. And I'll take your Game On and raise you Daydreamers, which I found.
Daydreamers.
And it wasn't free. Daydreamers is so okay, before I talk about Daydreamers, Sinners is hot right now.
Extremely hot.
Sinners is a movie.
I'm getting ready to go see it for the 5th
Oh wow.
time. Because,
Vampire culture.
Yeah.
So-
70 millimeter going up to.
You should. I saw it last week. It's really good on 70 millimeter.
Okay.
But Daydreamers is a story in Saigon of present-day vampires. Once predators all at night are now extinct, the few who remain cling to a desperate truce to not kill, but in the shadows, a brother's thirst awakens, igniting a dark desire that will pit him against his own kind, shattering the fragile peace and plunging the city into a bloody new era. If you would have told me that a Vietnamese vampire movie would be hot at the festival, I'd be like, come on, man. But it is.
It is.
It's so good.
Oh, my goodness.
It's so, Shane, it's so good. I called Charles up. I was like, did you watch it yet? He goes, yeah. So here's, again, when you talk about inside baseball, here's the inside baseball of the fun part of the festival. Is when we find a good movie. And then he'll watch it first, and then he'll call me and I go, yeah, you're right, man. Or I'll say something like, you watch it yet?
Yeah.
So Daydreamers, man, yeah. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let me mention another movie that really jumped out for me. Did you watch Demons?
Oh.
Bruh. I watched Demons on a Sunday before I went to church. Demons was so good. I was at church going, yeah, I know I heard the message, but man, an LGBTQ movie about a police officer whose partner, how do I say this in a nice way? Whose partner is out on something like a grinder.
Right.
Runs into the wrong guy who, I'm not going to tell you what happens, but it's not good. and then he takes revenge.
The epitome of not good.
Bruh. Demons. I was like, woo!
Look, this is the one.
We're going to come back in a week or so and talk about.
Because we're having this all happen at the same time as Pride Week is happening.
Yes.
And I've been telling, I'm like, look, if you want to see something good.
Demons, that's a good one.
Come on, bring yourself on to this
Give me one for you that jumped out, because I got a couple more. Go ahead. What else jumps out for you?
Okay, so we can talk about the Spaceman, because the Spaceman. Just witty and irreverent, and this guy is.
So he's going on a first date with this woman, but he's saving her a parking space somewhere out in South Central LA, and all the real conversations that would happen if you're trying to save a space. Hey man, get out the way!
What are you doing?
I thought it was creative,
and it's a lot of fun. And it didn't end the way you thought it was going to end.
It did not.
And it's really entertaining. Really entertaining.
Okay.
Because when you think the Spaceman, you're thinking like outer space. But that was really creative.
So wait a minute, stop. Did we give out some times, man? Because Shane is over there taking furious notes. The Spaceman is playing. Go ahead, Charles.
Shorts Block 1.
Oh, you got it playing. You're doing an encore of the Spaceman.
There is an encore of the Spaceman. It's we're having it Friday, June 6th at 9:15 a.m. And for those people who can't get up in the morning, we're doing it again on Saturday evening, the 7th at 4:45 p.m.
All right, here's one I want to talk about, because this one freaked me out. The Beguiling. The Beguiling is another short film, and this is an indigenous people story, which is what I was loving about this. What seemed like a burgeoning romance between two indigenous people takes an unexpected turn in this bold and thrilling blend of the satirical and the sinister. I'm not even going to butcher the writer-director's name.
It's Kawazi Sheen McSalby.
Yeah, thank you, Charles, for saying that. Saturday, June the 7th at 4:45, The Beguiling. That's a twist ending. That's an M. Night Shyamalan one right there for you.
Yeah.
That's a twist ending right there. That's pretty good. So that jumped out. So Charles can't remember the one. See, it's funny. Like, there's certain films that just jump out to me, man. Now, we talked about our opening night film. Let's not forget our closing night film, 40 Acres. Now, I will give you and my significant other credit, because both of you guys saw it at Toronto long before I did, right? And I didn't get it initially. You was like, Charles was like, man, this would be a good one to close the fest. I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. And then I watched it and called you back, and I was like, you're right, bro. That's a good movie, man.
It's a good movie.
Danielle Deadwilder.
Look, when I saw Danielle Deadwilder.
What did I call her? Deadwilder?
Well, yeah,
I keep always saying Wilder.
When
Danielle Deadwilder.
She was doing a junket in Toronto for the piano lesson.
Yes.
And I walked over to her and whispered in her ear, 40 Acres is better. she turned and looked at me and goes,
She should have been like, word. Word. So 40 Acres, of course, is Saturday night, man, closing the festival 8 o'clock, right after the Black Butterfly Festival Awards, presented by Events DC.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Contractually, we got to say that.
Contractually say.
All right, let's not forget B-Box.
B-Box.
Shane, let's not forget the movie about two dudes playing a game. What is it? Every time they say the B word and they're not touching their face, they get the bejesus smacked out of them by each other. The B-Box. So the only way you can be like, yeah, man. And then you don't get slapped. Then you got your hand on
touching your face. If you say the word B, a B word, and then you can't get smacked.
So if you say, bruh, with no pow. Yeah, so I initially I was like, I don't understand what's happening. Pow! Yeah, I didn't understand what was happening, but I thought it was funny, man. So B-Box is a good one. B-Box, of course, is playing in Shorts Block 2, which is Friday at 9:15. You should check that one out, man. So I'm just giving you guys options. And then, Charles, because, I just don't want you to think that I'm just not just about the irreverent. This movie right here is a good one.
It's
Breaking Brothers.
It's still irreverent.
Breaking Brothers is interesting, man.
It's a very interesting story.
Now, it's interesting that picture you have, that when you say Breaking Brothers, it's about two brothers who are dancers, and they're based out of the Dominican Republic, right? Yeah.
Right.
Christian and Cosmo.
But they're in
Ireland.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to inject their hip-hop dancing ways into
culture into Ireland. And then there's the Ireland guy right there.
Yeah. Doing his little thing, which you're like, okay, I can see, maybe. I don't know. The beats.
That movie's a finalist, isn't it?
It is.
That's a finalist.
It is.
I say no more.
Shock is playing in Doc's Block 2, Friday, June 6th at 2:15 p.m. Breaking Brothers.
You see, I'm just grabbing film, so I was able to actually do what I wanted to do in a different way, because Charles said, let's just talk about films. Wow, I shouldn't clown you about this one.
Don't you dare.
Charles was standing for movies, man.
Why?
Man, I don't know why people decide to call while we're on the air, man.
There's a power button.
Yeah, there is a power button, but I never turn it off. Oh!
Power is more than a TV show.
I want to say something about this movie here. Grave Era.
This was kind of interesting.
It's an interesting movie.
It's about a young woman who finds out that she's been legally declared dead. And
while she's very much alive.
She's very much alive. And so there's a whole lot of stuff that you can't do when you're dead. I mean, literally. And so she's got to figure out how to get herself back to life.
Grave Era.
It's a really interesting short.
Charles when's it playing?
It's playing in Shorts Block 2 again, that same Friday, June 6th.
June 6th at 9:15.
9:15,
9:15, man. So I'm trying to think, is there anything else, man, that we need to prep people for LightReel next week? If you're driving down the 9 parking lots in Union Market, you can park all over Union Market. The first 3 hours are free. If you leave your car there longer than 3 hours, it's $15 a day, which is not horrible. I mean, it's actually not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
Two more.
Okay.
2 more. Let's start here.
We're not doing reviews today, are we?
We're not doing. We're not doing.
We're not doing reviews. Okay.
Well, we can do reviews in overtime. Shane hates overtime. See his face? He just swole up. He hates overtime.
Like a pufferfish.
The Last Dance. The final chapter of the famous East London heart and brainchild of successful club owner Linford Fox Wilson. I like this movie.
I had to thank the folks at Festival Focus for hooking us up, Festival Formula for hooking us up with this film, because it's really an interesting movie.
It's an interesting movie, you know.
Tim almost wanted to cut it, but I think his significant other wouldn't allow him to get away.
You put me out there like that after I purposely didn't talk about your movie?
Oh, my bad.
Let's just say, Shane, that there's a movie that if I bring it up, you'll see. Just look at Charles's face if I say the name.
It's called Cotton Candy Bubblegum. I'll own it. I think it's funny.
Okay.
I think
Shane, go ahead.
Cotton Candy Bubblegum.
Go ahead.
It's good.
Why is it funny, man?
Why is it funny?
What is it like?
It's kind of like, what's that movie that the girls did this year?
SZA and Kiki Palmer. It's one of them days.
It's one of them days. Yeah, it's kind of like one of them days, but it's lighter. That's focused.
Yes. Yes, it's lighter. That's the word.
Less focused. Yes.
All right, he said let's focus. It's at the festival, though.
It is.
You be the judge. You check it out. Come back and go, Charles. I don't know what you're talking about, man. That movie was good.
You're gonna say that to Tim, because I already said
you're
it's
not
good.
gonna say it to Tim. Tim didn't say anything about this movie. I'm listening to Charles. And then finally, Charles, before we get out of here, man, this movie here, this is, man, did you cry watching this?
I did.
Memories
I'll
of
be
Love
honest.
Returned from my man Natari. I can't even pronounce his name. Natari Guma
Even when he pronounces it, I can't
pronounce his
repronounce
name,
the way. But you've seen him. He's been in lots of TV stuff. I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
So pretty much the story is about him years earlier in Uganda. He's driving along and his car breaks down, and his car fortuitously breaks down in front of the house of a famed Ugandan photographer. And the two of them connect, and his aspiration is to be a photographer.
Right.
And they connect, and it's all about the memories of the pictures that this original photographer took. He recreates the pictures after the demise of the original photographer.
Right.
And it is a heartwarming, poignant, just a punch in the soul.
You know how when you come across a photo and you say to your family, "Oh, let's go make this photo again, all of us together." It's
Memories of Love Returned is playing Friday, June the 6th at 7 p.m.
It's a spotlight screening.
Yes. So that's a good one. I'm trying to think, is there anything else we got to hit before we get out of here? Because I was trying to jam as many of the films that I thought spoke to us when we were going through the process. Let's talk a little bit about this one. This sister right here is her second year in a row. She's at the festival. So this is LightReel alum. Is it Sierra Andrea Gladden?
That's correct.
So last year she had, I can't remember the name of the film. Was it Sundown? Sunburn? Something like that. Something.
I can't think of it right now.
Yeah, so this year she comes back with Evergreen.
Give me a second. But go ahead.
Yeah, she comes back with Evergreen. This is sister based out of Baltimore. So when we talk about local films, it's local to the DMV. If Baltimore is a part of the DMV, which some people look at me like it is not.
It's in Maryland.
It's in Maryland. Even Shane is like, not really. So she's a Baltimore filmmaker. This one is her senior thesis project, Evergreen, and she has played LightReel, as I said, for the second year in a row. This film, of course, tells the story that during her final Thanksgiving as a college student, Andrea struggles to see eye to eye with her mother, Victoria, sparking an argument that will critically define their relationship from that night forward. Evergreen. Sierra Andrea Gladden, two-time LightReel Film Festival director who has had a film at our festival. So that's a film I thought we should shout out just for her. Is it Sundown?
It is Sundown.
Sundown was her original film from last year.
From last year.
And we talked about the vampire movie because I keep going back to that one.
Daydreamers, man.
Daydreamers is, oh my God, that was great. Can't get out without this one. Can't get out without this. The Ohio, Texas remix, and he's coming.
Oh, yes.
Director
Yake
Smith. Story of a woman determined to get her son back by any means necessary based on a true story. Charles?
This movie, it's pretty, there's, as you're watching the movie, you're just like, okay.
And then?
And then the stakes just get amplified. And I remember watching it and I audibly gasped. and I'm watching it with headphones on and nobody else in the house is, and I audibly gasped. And my wife's like, what's wrong? I'm like, it's the movie. Oh, this movie. Oh man, yeah. It's something special. It's something special. Going on for the ride.
Yes, sir. All right, so I think I got one more left, man, Charles, and I'm gonna wrap it up for the third year in a row. We have a film from our contingent in Mississippi.
Yes,
and they're also doing a panel.
Good.
This year they have a panel, Sights of Memory. It's third year in a row that Antonio Terrell has had a film. Now, Antonio was in here. Was it last year or the year before last?
Last year.
It was last year, right? So that film. Oh, and you also like Rap Dixon as well.
Rap Dixon is a great film. It's about a baseball player named Rap Dixon, and who played in the Negro Leagues and actually spent some time with the Homestead Grays here in Washington, D.C. But it's also about the life after baseball and how a Negro League player, finds success outside of the baseball realm. So it's actually a great film.
Last film, same-sex LGBTQ. I'm the most racist person I know. About a woman looking for love. Is it in all the wrong places?
All the wrong places.
Looking for love.
She's got absolutely the wrong idea about what love is supposed to be. And I had an opportunity to talk with the filmmaker about this film, and she's like, yeah, it's a little autobiographical.
Oh, man. So, having said all that, man, LightReelFilm.com, man. Check out, some of the films that we talked about. You can go and read the synopsises of some of the other films on our page under official selections. If we have an opportunity to see you, because by the time we do our show next week, the festival will have been.
The show next week.
We won't be doing the show next week. We should do a live show at the film festival. That would be hot.
It would be.
That's a good idea. We should try that, man. Shane, can we do that next week?
Oh, dang.
You talking about for you or for the station? Oh. Shane was like, pay me if we going out on them streets. I mean, by virtue that Shane gonna be at the film festival anyway, I don't even understand why this is an issue. You can't engineer a show from the festival? Pretty much.
Strapped to his back, he's walking.
Like, come on. All right, man. So this is what we're gonna do. Let's wrap this up, and we going to overtime. We got to do film reviews. On behalf of my man Charles Kirkland Jr., man, I'm Tim Gordon. As we tell you every week, please see something good at the movies. For more information on the films that we're talking about with the Light Reel Film Festival, it is lightreelfilm.com. LightReelFilm.com. And we hope to see you at the festival this week down at Union Market.